It's raining outside, so adjust your eyes because we're taking it inside for this, the BMW M340i. Guys, I gotta admit, I'm liking this a whole lot more than I thought I was going to. Let me tell you why. The 3 Series acts as the workhorse of the BMW lineup. The base model, the 330i, comes standard with a 2-liter turbocharged engine and an 8-speed automatic transmission. No more manuals anywhere on the 3 until you're talking M3, which we'll get to later. BMW also offers a plug-in hybrid in the 330e, which also gets that 2-liter without the turbo, plus an electric motor that's good for a total of 288 horses and a 12 kilowatt-hour battery that yields 22 miles on pure electric range. Okay, that's great if you're looking for Bavarian efficiency. This M340i is at the top of what I would call the normal 3 Series food chain. This one comes equipped with a 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 that makes 382 horsepower. It also gets a 48-volt mild hybrid motor. That is going to help you when you're at a dead stop and you're looking to accelerate a little quickly, or if you're looking to pass someone while you're at speed. It also helps for a nice smooth transition with the automatic stop-start function. And hey, yo, folks, this guy delivers the promise of that speedy premise. Acceleration happens right at tip-in. Juicy, fat, exciting, it's there, bam. This thing is really quick, and I like that. So one thing to note, this example that I have has xDrive, which is BMW's all-wheel drive system. So it's putting power down at all 4 corners for me. And I've been driving around in Southern California rain, so I've definitely felt a lot more confident with that extra grip. Aces. The BMW's chassis feels sublime. It's responsive and compliant, but with the right dash of tautness. I seriously don't remember driving a BMW 3 Series that's felt this good before. The suspension does a great job in all of its different modes. You can get an adaptive M Sport suspension that has electronically controlled dampers, and it's really reading a lot of imperfections in the road, small, big. It's making everything kind of feel buttery smooth. The only thing about that suspension is it will cost you an extra $550. For my money, I think that's worth it. Definitely much more worth it than the $200 that you're going to spend on the M50th anniversary badging. Yeah. Let's talk about the road for a second and how that translates to the interior driving experience. 2 ways that road comes inside when you're driving. The first, cabin noise. You know, it is really quiet in here. It's very sort of luxurious, and honestly, when you're in sport mode, the engine is giving off a pleasing sound. Are they piping it in here a little bit? Maybe, but it's not going to distract. The second way is in the seat of your pants. And I'm really kind of talking about the seats here. The seats are not exactly plush. BMW does not make super gushy seats. This is definitely one of the complaints that I have with BMWs. For a short hop, I think their seats are very comfortable, but if you are going on a longer road trip, they can get a little tiresome, sorry on your hiney. Just beware. Another place I'm feeling the road on this car, the steering wheel. There's quite a bit of vibration in my hands. Not so used to that. I think the steering is weighted well, and it doesn't feel as though a ton of input is required to get the job done. The only other thing I'll talk about is the transmission. Shifts are really smooth in this, almost imperceptible. I really like the way that it selects gears. I don't really feel like it's sort of searching around for them. If you are not going to offer a manual transmission on a performance sedan, then at least give drivers something that is going to dole out power fairly judiciously, and I really do think that this one does. If you want to, you can always use these paddle shifters and take matters into your own hands. All that and fuel economy isn't as wallet-busting as some other performance vehicles, except maybe when it comes to the high-performance M3. Getting to the exterior, this BMW has not fallen into the overly large nostrils camp. The kidneys feel well proportioned, and I love how the headlights integrate into it. But I will say that that intake below the kidneys looks a little bit like an open maw. That's my only gripe, and if you get a dark color, it starts to disappear. Otherwise, good wheels, good profile, appropriately sporty deck lid. I think this is an attractive car to look at. And this paint, it's called Melbourne Red Metallic. Woo! This makes it even easier on the eyes. Come inside, and once again, I am pleased. I think the interior looks really great. They've struck a nice balance with touchscreen, not too much, but they have plenty of buttons that cover some of the more common functions that you use. I think the materials that they've done here are really great. The contrast stitching is terrific. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless do come standard, but the one gripe that I had is, God, it takes a couple of times to get it all set up. Wireless charging is an option, but the head-up display on the massive digital gauge cluster comes standard, as well as the moonroof and power front seats. But you do have to go above and beyond with pricing on some features that may seem like they should come standard on a car that has a base price of $57,000. The driving assistance package will get you advanced driver assistant features, including lane departure warnings and assistance that frankly isn't really the smoothest in my opinion. And you have to pony up $1,350 for heated seats and a steering wheel. Features like that have been discussed as part of a subscription-based system with some car manufacturers. I'd love to know what you guys think about that in the comments. Base price on the 330i starts at about $43,800. That 330e we talked about earlier will cost you $44,900. This M340i I'm driving with all the packages you could possibly want comes in at $68,470, which feels like a veritable bargain to the base price of the M3, which gets a twin turbo on the 6-cylinder 3-liter and a manual transmission. And you can go to the competition from there. So if this is the poor man's M3, then sign me up as a poor man, because there's not much I can find to complain about this. If you're looking to snag one, click here at the link and KBB can help you find a fair purchase price. I love a good deal. If you're not as stoked about the BMW as I am, there are certainly other options, including the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, the Audi A4, Volvo S60, yes, they still make it, the gorgeous Alfa Romeo Giulia, or the Genesis G70, which the last time I compared it with the 3 Series, in my book, it won. I would love to do that comparison again with this. And you know what? If you subscribe to the KBB YouTube channel, you may be able to check out when we do. Again, color me floored. There's a lot to love about the M340i. From the way that it looks to the way that it drives. Look, if there was a time when BMW maybe lost a little bit of its mojo with the 3 Series, then I consider it found with this. If you're in the market for a premium, sporty sedan, check it out and see if you agree.